So I recorded a video last night, but I wanted to add a few things before we get to that video. First of all, I am not a big Rachel Zegler fan. I do think she is kind of bratty. That being said, I'm a big movie nerd. You know, I pay attention to movie news, casting choices, whatnot. And I remember whenever Rachel Zegler got casted as Snow White. First thing you guys did is bitched about the fact that she wasn't completely white. Then you bitched about the fact that she made comments about the 1930s and how it was basically just white princesses. Then you bitched about the fact that she made comments about Palestine. And then you're surprised, you're acting like it's her fault the movie failed, when if you had a brainstem and knew numbers, well, this movie was never going to succeed because Disney spent way too much money on it. And it's a live action remake for a niche audience. It doesn't matter who played Snow White. It was never going to make $1 billion like The Lion King did. Dumbass. But hey, the critical thinker, or I'm sorry, the critical drinker, the only true part of that sentence, thinks this downfall is all because of her being political, when at the end of the day, you guys made it political, still are, and she just had the audacity to match that. I do think she's a little bit of a brat, but what she said was kind of entirely true. But hey, go on to bitch about another Black Mermaid. Go on to bitch about The Boys Season 4 when you didn't even watch it because they made fun of white supremacists and made you look exactly how you come off. And go on and make 20 more videos whining about a little girl's movie. Also, I think it's funny that you think simply casting a black person is pushing an agenda on somebody, but, you know, when racism is shoved down a kid's throat, you're nowhere to be found speaking up for that. No, you dislike that shit. Whenever, you know, Bible classes is part of the curriculum and influencing kids, you're nowhere to be found there. See, I agree with you. Kids shouldn't be influenced about shit that they can't conceptually understand. But obviously, that applies more to Bible classes than a black actress or a mixed actress being casted, you goddamn imbecile. So really, you don't care about how kids are influenced, like you make it out to be. You just care that they're only influenced by the shit that you approve of, which makes you the biggest hypocrite in the world. You don't even know what you believe. So stop calling yourself a critical fucking thinker, because you're anything but.
What is up, guys? How we doing? Last video of me being in my room hunched over like all weird and shit. So I was scrolling through my YouTube feed, and I cannot tell you how many videos I have seen of grown men in their 50s celebrating the box office disaster of the live-action Snow White remake. Which is just hilarious to me, because every woman I've talked to, including my grandmother, thought the movie was great. Personally, I would rather watch the cartoon over the movie, but I ain't the target demographic, you know. Maybe take my daughter to it or something, but the movie isn't really meant for grown men. It's meant for young women, and the young women seem to like it, so therefore I would consider it to be a success, even though it's not doing great at the box office. But it's not doing great at the box office because it's niche and it's a live-action remake, so only women want to see it. But I do think it's funny that a bunch of 50-year-old guys are sitting here celebrating its downfall because the actress had the gall to make comments about the 1920s and when films like this were made. Comments that, you know, were a little exaggeratory, but not false. You know, she didn't say anything that wasn't true. So basically, it's just a bunch of misogynistic incels getting mad at an actress for, you know, saying shit that is kind of undebatable, and rooting for the downfall of a movie that is meant for women and not them. Just kind of proving her comments true about the sexist world that we live in, if you think about it. I just think it's funny that literally 10 videos in a row is some gray-haired man sitting here, yes, Snow White failed at the box office. It failed. See, women, Rachel, oh, you better keep your mouth shut. That's right. You keep your mouth shut. You want to speak up about women's issues? Us men, we don't like that. How does that feel? What's that feel like? Do you kind of feel like you're I mean, do you not see that you're just kind of proving her point? Of course the movie wasn't going to do very well. It's niche. It's meant for kids, and it's meant for little girls, basically. And you're all against this woke shit being in films influencing our youth, but I don't see you speaking up about, Bible classes being part of the curriculum in Texas now. So clearly you're not against influencing the youth as long as it's influencing the youth with something you agree with. It should be all or none. Take your stance. Stop being a hypocritical dipshit and being a 50-year-old. Celebrating Snow White not being successful. If that is the highlight of your day, my man, you're probably going to die alone, or maybe you find somebody that you can brainwash into thinking that you're a good dude. Yeah, I'm sure this video will piss some people off, but dude, like 10 videos in a row of just, yes, like fucking Snow White failed, miserable fail, and then every woman I've talked to, every customer I've had in Uber, I actually had a customer tell me I should go check it out and take Persephone to it. Like, every woman I've talked to about it that's went and seen it said it was great. I don't see, I have no interest in seeing it. I have no interest in it. If I were to want to watch Snow White or show it to my daughter, I would just show her the cartoon. I don't really care for these live action remakes. They're clearly money grabs, but I don't. If it introduces a whole new generation to these stories, great. Pretending like you care about the younger generation being influenced by shit is funny. Is the younger generation of women not supposed to be empowered? Would you like them to stay in their place and shut the fuck up, never speak up about women's issues during interviews or anything? Is that the way you like it? It's also why most of you guys making videos are alone, but whatever. Let me know how that works out for you. And next time a woman dares speak up about something, I'm sure you'll make 27 videos about it, milking it, because a woman needs to keep her mouth shut. Am I right? Amen. Go to Texas, take them Bible classes, and pretend like you give a shit about woke influencing our youth, when really you don't give a fuck about how the youth is influenced. You don't give a shit if little kids are sat here being told racist shit. You've made that apparent by disliking my videos talking about it. So you genuinely do not care about how little kids are influenced. You just want to make sure that a woman stays in her place. And watching all you 50-year-old nothings in your incel audience that can't even spell a complete fucking sentence or type out your, celebrate this movie not doing very good, when, in my eyes, if it's making the target audience happy, which it seems to do, that would mean that it's succeeding. But whatever. How dare Rachel speak up about shit that's true. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to weigh in on this stupid topic because, yes, there is inclusion and there is pondering. You're right. Those are two things that happen. Disney has pondered. You're right. But that just because you see a gay person on TV or a woman on screen doesn't exactly mean that's what they're doing. Pondering does happen, but not in every scenario like you guys make it out to be. And there's a difference between inclusiveness and pondering. Like, when you see a gay person on TV, you shouldn't even think about it. It shouldn't really even register, wow, that person's gay. It should just be another normal human being that you see on TV, because it's normal to be gay. Just like with a woman, just like with a black person. But it seems like the only thing you want to look at is white dudes, which makes me question your sexuality in the first place. You do nothing but shit on women and want to see white dudes on TV. Snow White, is a movie made for little girls, and to watch grown men root for its downfall is kind of hilarious. You're not the target demographic. What Rachel said wasn't exactly untrue, even if it kind of was out of left field and a little dramatic. She has the right to speak up about what she sees fit, and what she said was kind of undebatable, so... But hey, geeks and gamers knows all about it. They know how to share false information and sit here and bitch about a black Captain America and say shit like, Sam didn't earn it even though he's been in 10 fucking movies in Captain America's shadow. You just say factually incorrect shit and act like you pretend like you care about how kids are being influenced, but unless you're the one influencing them, unless you're shoving God down their throat or racism down their throat or your beliefs down their throat, anything that doesn't make you happy, well, then it's forcing an agenda, of course. You would never do that.